Some cities have wonderful architectural works, and some of them are religious buildings, which also contain symbols and unique acoustic designs. But can all these elements also lead to new music paths? Today I have the pleasure of being with Ilkim Tongur, a Turkish Canadian composer based in Calgary, who writes for solo, chamber, orchestra and electronic media. And hi Ilkim.
Hello.
Thank you for being with me. How is the music scene? How would you describe Turkish music?
There are a few different angles of music in Turkey. There's the Turkish art music, that's traditional Turkish art music. There's folk music, and there's Western classical music. Of course, Turkish folk and art music was much earlier, but the Western classical music started to seep into the country in 19th century, and lots of composers since then wrote lots of music, but especially in 20th century they started to, with the impact of lots of changes in 20th century, they started to go back to folk music and the art music, and they started to use these sources as their inspiration. So it created a really interesting combination.
So when did you move to Canada?
Well, almost 10 years. The moment that I stepped out of the airport in Winnipeg, I felt home, first time in my life. It's like, okay, this is home. It feels good here. I don't know why. It was a sudden feeling. But incorporating the Canadian music with my music, it took several years of process.
So, well, let's start with, what is the Golden Horn?
It's a place where the old Istanbul established first. It's a bay in the horn shape. That bay was the settlement for several different people throughout history. And if you go to Golden Horn today and just walk around the bay, you see several different temples. Like a synagogue, you can find a synagogue in that street, and you can find an Orthodox church here, a Catholic church here, a Protestant church there, and a Sunni mosque here, a Jemevi for the Shias there, and so on. It's like all in one place. What I looked at was what was still individual in each one of these temples, and what was common in what we now call Turkish art music, because they all contributed into that. Even though they come with a different background, they brought different type of music in their
Each has a little piece in there.
Yes, each has a little piece, because they all raised several composers to Turkish art music. And that's what I was looking at when I was composing this piece. It has 6 movements. Each movement is dedicated to one of these cultures. I went there, I did spatial recordings, and I did recordings of the religious ceremonies with permission, of course, and then I composed piece. So I tried to create what was common and what was different about each one of them. It can be based on some religious relic or object or idea as well. For example, there is the Catholic Church. I based that movement that I composed for them on triangles, because you know the 3 is an important number in
Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity. And then I looked at the structure and I saw the triangles on the face of the building. So I said, okay, triangles is my inspiration here, and what can I do with this as well? I don't know if you've ever been in a Muslim country, but they have this prayer call 5 times a day, and they just go on top of a minaret and they usually sing from there. And it is beautiful if it's sung beautifully.
Good point.
But what happens, one mosque starts, and like 30 seconds within that, 2 more mosques starts in the other hill and then the other valley, and all of these comes together. They just sung on top of each other, so it becomes an involuntary polyphonic structure 5 times a day, and you listen to it. And that's what I focused on, the cry, to reflect. There are it's a very high singing, and it goes naturally. It has a descending motion.
Well, Ilkim, thank you so much for
You're
all
welcome.
this.
Thank you. These were really interesting questions. I'm happy that now I have lots of things to think.
Oh, I learned a lot, so I had a really fun time. Thank you so
Me
much.
too. Thank you.
What music paths are being explored today? What interesting techniques are being used in composition? Welcome to New Music Paths.